Hey everybody, welcome back to TNV with Miss J. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson. Always here to bring you guys some great celebrity podcasts and some good entertainment news. Of course, you guys know we always have really great guests, and of course, today is no different. I'm very excited for our guest here today. He is an actor and a producer. He is known for Doom Patrol, American Soul that is on BET, and of course, Fox, and of course, he's just going to be continue to rise and blow up from there. But we are super excited to be talking with him today and pick out his brain. Everyone, give a warm welcome to TJ Jackson. Hi, TJ.
Hi, how are you?
Doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great as well. Thanks for asking.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, we appreciate you being here talking with us today. So we are really excited to be talking with you. So yeah, we really appreciate you giving your time.
Same here. It's a pleasure.
Of course. Well, Mr. TJ, I'm going to fire off the first question at you coming your way. I just want to know, as an actor, what began your passion for acting?
That's actually a great question. So I took a theater class in 12th grade, and at the time I had senioritis. So I was
Oh.
just taking the class to get an easy A. At least that's what I thought. I was not expecting to fall in love with the craft, and that's exactly what happened. And it's crazy because one memory in particular, remember doing a monologue from the play Raisin in the Sun, and
Oh.
it was assigned to me by my professor at the time, and it was a showcase that we had to do in front of our parents. Now, at this time, my parents had to work, so they couldn't make it out
Hmm.
to the showcase. And so I was there, and all I remember is I remember the part where I was on my knees. I remember the spotlight, and I remember the applause afterwards. And I remember having all of these parents come up to me and just saying how great of a job I did.
Oh,
And
wow.
when I was looking back on that, I was like, they weren't there for me. They didn't have to come up and say that to me. They didn't have to be nice at all and say
Right.
anything about my acting. And I'll never forget that moment because it was then that I realized that I love doing this. I love doing this. So that's where the passion came from.
That is awesome. I love that story. I think that's great that, like you said, they weren't coming there for you, but they were moved by your performance. They
Yes,
were like, we got to let this kid know that, hey, we
right.
see a future in this for you. So I think that's awesome. Kind of
Yeah.
playing the question I just asked, who do you look up to acting wise?
Another great question. For me, I've always looked up to Denzel Washington. That's always been my like role model, and I just love his acting. I love his ability to tell a story, his
Yes.
ability to tell a story and to connect with his scene partners. I just absolutely love that. I also love what he does, off camera as well with the BGs, Boys and Girls Clubs of America. Because I used to work with children. Before I moved to Atlanta to do what I'm doing now, I spent 8 years working with youth. And I love my children. It's amazing because they're now like young adults now, so it kind of makes me feel old. But I'll never forget that my time with them and my relationship that I've
Mhm.
developed with them. And so he's always been the one I looked up to him, Sidney Poitier, also Meryl Streep, Viola
Mhm.
Davis, just amazing storytellers and the ability to connect and just live truthfully in the moments and imaginary circumstances. I just love their work and their character outside of the camera.
Oh, I so agree, especially with Denzel Washington. To me personally, he's probably one of the most intense actors of our
Yes.
time. I mean, he can get you to really feel anything. I love it. I mean, grant you, I probably, have a heart attack acting with Denzel Washington because he's so intense. But I'm just being honest. The intensity, my heart probably wouldn't be able to take it. But
Right.
he's definitely one of the best. And Meryl Streep, again, like you said, she can definitely, I mean, one of the most nominated people in Oscar history,
Yes.
really much she can't play or do. So she's proven
Fact.
that. So those are awesome choices. TJ, also want to know, as an actor, what roles do you gravitate to?
You know, um, It's funny that you asked me that because I tend to have people come up to me and ask me if I do comedy. And I don't know if it's just because of the way I look or whatever the case may be, but I tend to always get that question. But I actually like the type of roles that Denzel plays, like your suspense and drama. I've always just been fascinated with suspenseful movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I like those type of roles, you know. So give me some drama, give me some suspense. I'm here for it, right?
Oh yeah, I honestly think it's one of the genres not, a lot really explored in the movie world because it's always heavily with the horror or comedy or
Yes,
something. I love a good suspenseful movie. I love a movie that
yes.
can just keep me on the edge, keeps me guessing. I'm ripping at the furniture because I just need to know what's going on next. I get into it, man. I do. I get into it. I have no shame in it. I get into it. I do. I get just like, don't even talk to me at this moment while I'm watching an intense
Right.
like that. Like I can't even. It's like, don't even talk to me. Kind of going off the number three question I just asked. What would you personally? What would you consider to be your absolute dream role and why?
Ah, my my ideal dream role would actually be to play the president of the United States
Woohoo!
in an apocalyptic type of a world, you know, in a post-apocalyptic type of world. I would love to be able to play that. And what it reminds me of is actually, I don't know if you've seen these movies or not, but the Left Behind movies.
The left
And
behind.
I believe it was actor Louis Gossett Jr. He played the president in the third series or the third film of that franchise.
I think I know what you're talking
And
about now.
something like that, I would love to be able to do. I wouldn't want to be the president in real life,
Well, of course.
but in
Of course.
in a film, in a film, I'm all there for it, man. I would love to be able to play the president.
That would be great. And like I like how you said president in a post-apocalyptic world. Not a
Yes,
comedy or a series, but a post-apocalyptic. So
yes,
we're talking about past. Yeah, I love that. I think those are kind of like the best kind of president moment movies to see what each
yes.
president actor-wise would do to, in that type of situation. So I
Absolutely,
think
because you get to see their character, you know?
exactly.
There's so much politics that's played in, real life in films where you have a president, but to have something where you have to rise up, you see a
Hmm.
person's character. So to be able to play that and just see what happens, I think will be fun.
I agree. I think it would be fun too. Like I said, those are the best president roles when you have, the psychological and just post-apocalyptic and like you said, their character really comes out and what they would possibly do as presidents. So
Yes.
I am with you on that one. TJ, I know there's always some great pros and great moments of being an actor, but a lot of people don't really talk about sometimes the difficult and sometimes the cons that comes with it. In your
hmm
personal experience, what would you say is the most difficult aspect of being an actor and why?
That's actually a great question because I was thinking of posting. I actually did. I went ahead and did this. I posted on my social media account. I did it on the story,
Hmm.
and I did it for a reason. But I posted my latest audition. I had an audition that I taped today, this morning actually, and I posted it on my Instagram story. And the reason why I did that was because one of the most difficult things as an actor is auditioning. And it's
Hmm.
not so much as because the audition itself is hard or that you have, very little time to prepare, but it's because you don't get feedback.
Oh.
There's no evaluation. It's not like a job where you get evaluated monthly or quarterly or annually from your job so you can see exactly what you need to work on and improve in. You send an audition and you don't hear anything unless you get booked. So many
Hmm.
times we get told no a lot, but we don't hear why. And so it makes it difficult to know exactly where I need to focus my energy on working and training and studying, where I need to spend my money and resources and getting better in this area because it's kind of like, well, I don't really know why I didn't get booked for that. So that's one of the most difficult things as an actor.
That is so interesting because I know I've interviewed actors before and they definitely say the audition, but they never say the feedback. I actually think I like
Mm.
that because I never really think about that as an actor. You really, when you go for an audition, you don't really get that feedback of what I did wrong, what I can improve, what would
Mm-hmm.
you guys do? So yeah, that is interesting. So I definitely employ any inspiring actors, listening out there. Definitely go to TJ's, Instagram and check that out to give you that, natural, So it seems like that's
Yes.
yeah, a reality. So yeah, I think it's interesting that you say that. Um, However, speaking of Instagram, Mr. TJ, I want to make sure the TNB audience, I want to make sure they follow you and your work up to date. So where can we follow you on social media?
It's really simple when it comes to me. All of my handles are the same. I am TJ Jackson. So whether it's Facebook.com/I am TJ Jackson, Twitter.com/I am TJ Jackson, Instagram.com/I am TJ Jackson. I keep it simple. It's great for marketing and branding. It's easy to find me. It's easy to remember. Even my website, imtjjackson.com.
I love it. I'm just sticking to this. I am not doing anything else. This is simple, easy, and I am right there in the same mindset of you. I noticed that I chose a little long title for my stuff. I was like, I should have just probably went with kind of what he's doing. I should just went with that. That just seems like a lot easier. So I definitely encourage everyone to follow TJ Jackson. You just heard him. All you gotta is put in I am TJ Jackson and you'll find all of his works. So,
Yes.
but going on to the number 7 question, Mr. TJ, what would you say is your favorite role so far?
An easy answer to that is all of them.
An easy answer.
It is because you always find something new about yourself in every role.
Mm-hmm.
It's especially early on in your career when you're still learning who you are as an individual. Being able to play someone else or do something different allows you to discover something about yourself that you may not have known.
Mm-hmm.
So all of your roles, especially early on, I believe are your favorites or can be because you get to learn more about who you are. And that's a blessing in itself. But if I had to pick, I would say right now would be my experience, a role that I played on American Soul. I was the studio recording manager, and just it wasn't a whole lot, but I loved the character that I got to portray on that show, and I'm hoping we're gonna speak that they bring me back for season 2. So.
Ooh, yes. Yes, that would be great because I've actually just started a couple days ago on American Soul, so I've always known about the history of it, so I've definitely been catching up on the show. So yes, let's
Nice.
look into the existence of season 2 for you. That would be great. I would love to be able to
Yes.
brag to my friends and family, hey, you see that guy right there? Yeah, he was on my show. So
Yes.
I will definitely do that. So just out of support and out of a little bit of braggness at the same time, but more out of support than anything, I promise.
Right.
Going up to, we got just a couple more questions for you, Mr. TJ. I know you said earlier in the interview that you would definitely love to be able to play a president and a apocalyptic role, but
Mhm.
what other goals do you kind of hope to achieve in your career?
Um, just like I was mentioning earlier, the work that Denzel does off camera,
Mm-hmm.
that's an area that I would, and just my experience working with youth as well, I want to always be involved in and being an influence or a role model for our next generation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's very important. I think it's very important. Um, so that's something that I definitely want to do long term and just be there any help that I can. Career wise, I would love to be an executive producer. I think long term for me, I am a big picture type person. Um, so I think executive producer would be right up my alley.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I'm working on now, building credits and just learning how this industry works, the business side of it, and
Mm-hmm.
gaining that experience so that when that time or opportunity presents itself, I'll be ready.
That is so smart. I love that. I'm kind of doing the same thing, learning the ins and outs of the business before, you actually jump into, head first into it. So, if something happens, I'll be up and prepared. So I like that mindset. I have the same type of mindset. So
Nice.
Yes, I have the same type of mindset. So, coming up to just the last two questions here, Mr. TJ. If you had any chance to work with any director, who would you like to
Mm,
work with and why?
great question.
I'm just
I
throwing
love
it
you got some really good ones coming. I love Steven Spielberg Berg's work, so I would love to be able to work with him. Ryan Coogler, of course, I would love to be able to be in something that he's in. Jordan Peele,
at you.
they all present and direct films that I enjoy watching. So I would love to be able to work with film and collaborate with film in my career sooner rather than later.
Of course, of course. I love that. Sooner rather than later, you know. That's hey, that's I don't blame it. Sooner rather than later. I think that would be great. I think that's where your president role should definitely come with. I think you should try to work with Jordan Peele and come up with that apocalyptic idea. I think that is a match made in heaven to be made. Honestly, I honestly do.
Yes.
So, coming up to the last question, Mr. TJ, earlier on, I did ask, what is the most difficult aspect of being an actor? Well,
Hmm.
what would you say is the most rewarding aspect of being an actor?
The funny thing actually is the same answer. The auditioning process. And just like I was saying earlier, when it came to being able to discover who you are and learn more about yourself and the roles that you play, auditioning gives you that opportunity to do the same thing. The pressure that you're under, whether it's last minute or you have to, you know, put something together, do your backstory and create the work. Auditioning allows you to be able to just play and have fun, and that's rewarding. Self tapes in particular, they're really big here in the Southeast
Mm-hmm.
market. But it allows you to just have fun and just play. And it creates the opportunity for you, if you take it, it creates the opportunity for you to develop within yourself a type of mindset to where it's like, I am enough.
Yes.
And this is what I bring to the table. Whether
Mm-hmm.
you decide to pick up your fork and eat is your decision, but I am enough.
Oh my goodness, I love that. I hope everyone listened to that. That was bone-chillingly good advice right there. I'm going to take that advice. Honestly, I'm going to take that advice. I might make that into a t-shirt. I'll give you credit. But
Nice.
I really like that. It's your decision, whether you want to pick up that fork and eat, but you are enough. So I really hope a lot of people, listen, take into that heart. That's a really great saying. And again, I think I'm going to make that into a t-shirt. I'll give you partial credit. Um, I'll, I'll let I'll let people know on the back of the shirt that it was your advice, so people will know it came from you. So I
now, my manager and publicist will be like, "Oh, we want some money instead."
I know. Trust me, I know. I know how that works. I wouldn't blame them actually for asking that. I would not blame them for telling me that. Oh, TJ, it has been so awesome to talk with you. You have a really refreshing, definitely mind about the career and how you want to continue to go about your career. And like I said, it really seems like you have really great advice and still trying to learn about the ins and outs of the industry. But it seems that you have a good solid ground and you're just really pushing forward with it. So I really appreciate you, talking with us today.
Thank you, and like I said, it's been my pleasure and honor. So thank you.
Oh, of course, of course. I hope everyone listening in, again, make sure you follow DJ Jackson at I am DJ Jackson. That's all his social media, his website. Make sure you definitely check him out on the work he's got. American Soul on BET. Let's pray for season two. Let's talk that into
Yes.
existence. Let's make that
Mhm.
happen. And of course, all the other projects he's got coming up, and just check out his Instagram stories as he continues to give, of course, a little advice about the industry as he goes along. So, but definitely make sure you follow him. But I definitely want to thank everybody for listening in. I definitely want to thank TJ for sitting with us and talking with us. Of course, you guys know I am your hostess with the mostest, Miss Simone Jackson, aka Miss J. Thank you guys for tuning in to TNB with Miss J. Of course, I'll be back with another great episode. But until then, everybody out there, you stay beautiful, stay kind, and we'll be back soon. Till then, bye.